normal, so I replied, and then I waited. A few hours passed. Nothing. I didn't think much of it. People get busy. But then a full day went by. Still nothing. Then another day. Still nothing. At first I wondered if something happened. Maybe he was busy. Maybe he lost his phone. Maybe something serious happened in his life. But after a few days, it became painfully obvious. He had simply disappeared. Ghosted. No explanation, no goodbye, just gone. And honestly, that part wasn't even the most annoying thing. The most ridiculous part was that I had already planned my trip around stopping in his town. Hotels booked, schedule set, everything. So now I had a decision to make. Cancel that part of the trip or go anyway. And I refused to let someone like him ruin something I had been excited about. So I went anyway. And weirdly enough, it turned out to be one of the best parts of my entire trip. The town was beautiful. The people were friendly. The food was incredible. I went hiking, explored local cafes, walked through parks and scenic areas. I took pictures, met interesting people. By the time I left, I was actually grateful that I had come, because if I had skipped that stop just because of him, I would have missed something amazing. After the trip ended, I went back home and life returned to normal. But something about the situation still bothered me, not in an emotional way, more in a curious way. It just didn't make sense. Why talk every day for weeks, encourage me to visit, then suddenly vanish? It felt strange. So one day, purely out of curiosity, I joined a Facebook group from his town. The group was called something like, Are We Dating?
Now, before anyone misunderstands these groups, they actually have strict rules. They're not meant to attack people or start drama. They exist so women can share experiences and warn each other about dangerous behavior, cheating, or dishonesty. And plenty of men get positive posts too, but the purpose is mainly protection. Anyway, I joined the group. At first, nothing happened. Weeks passed, months passed. Every once in a while, I'd scroll through the posts, and then one day, I saw a familiar face. His face. Someone had posted him. My heart actually skipped for a second, and when I started reading the comments, I realized something shocking. Multiple women were talking about him. Not one, not two, several. And every story sounded eerily similar. He would start talking to a woman, act charming, act attentive, make her feel special, eventually convince her they were exclusive, and then secretly sleep with other women behind her back. Over and over again. Different women, same story. But it didn't stop there. Some of the stories were honestly just strange. Creepy behavior, awkward encounters, embarrassing situations where he acted in ways that made people uncomfortable. The kind of stories that slowly reveal someone's true character. And the craziest part? Over the course of 1 year, he was posted in that group 3 separate times. 3. Different women, different experiences, but the exact same pattern. At that point, something clicked in my mind. This wasn't just a guy who ghosted people. This was someone who genuinely enjoyed manipulating people. And suddenly, something he had said months earlier came back to me. During one of our conversations before he ghosted me, he told me something strange. He said he didn't understand why people sometimes got upset with him. He said he didn't really feel bad about hurting people, like he didn't experience remorse the same way others did. At the time, I thought he was joking, but now it sounded disturbingly honest. So I did something. I started collecting screenshots, posts, comments, stories, evidence. I didn't rush anything. I didn't confront him. I didn't start drama. I just quietly gathered information, piece by piece, month by month. until eventually I had enough to see the full picture. And that's when I decided to do something he definitely wasn't expecting. I wrote a post. Not an angry rant, not a meltdown, a calm, brutally honest breakdown of his behavior. I included screenshots, stories, evidence, and then I described exactly kind of person he was. But the part I enjoyed the most, this psychological part. You see, he always thought he was smarter than everyone. He read poetry, books, liked to act intellectually superior, so I ended my post with a line that I knew would bother him more than anything else. I wrote, "True intelligence is knowing how little you actually know, not pretending you're smarter than everyone else." Then I added one final sentence. "You're not mysterious, you're just dishonest." I posted it and waited. At first, nothing happened. Then, a few hours later, he unfollowed me, which told me something important. He had seen it. And suddenly, I imagined the moment he read the post, scrolling through his feed, seeing the screenshots, seeing the comments, realizing that the version of himself he tried to show the world had just been completely exposed. And the funniest part, he had a girlfriend at that time. So imagine how nervous he must have felt seeing all of that information out there. For someone who claimed he didn't care about hurting people, I imagine that moment must have been extremely uncomfortable. And honestly, that was enough for me. Not anger, not drama, just the quiet satisfaction of knowing someone who enjoyed playing games with people had finally been forced to look in the mirror. Sometimes revenge doesn't look like yelling or fighting. Sometimes it's simply revealing the truth. Because the most powerful thing you can do to someone who thrives on manipulation is expose their real character. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button and subscribe for more revenge stories like this. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying karma moment you've ever seen? Because sometimes